works the first time. We'll see. We'll see. Oop, something happened. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. All right, you sound great, man. You sound great. Ba, 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 ba. What do we have? We had that already. Barring something really surprising on administration policy, I would expect policy rate to be modestly lower at the end of the year. We have a lot of confidence that housing inflation will bring inflation down. EU is prepared to respond firmly if needed, referring to tariffs. Let us look around here. Jobs report came out. It was weaker. That shows last month's hot reading was an anomaly. It's right in the sweet spot. It's good. Little chilly out this morning. Toes are a little cold. Boom, boom. Once I catch up, see what the market does on open. We'll go over the last couple days. Some interesting clues and tidbits. Yesterday was frustrating. We were saying short. I wanted to be short. I wanted to look for buys around this demand here. Got short in the morning. This was a beautiful on the 5-minute here. We broke this structure here. We broke it right here, right? But this point on this low, we're looking at this supply. On this low, we're looking at this supply. We get in short on a retest. We actually got in right up here because when we wicked back on this candle, it kept us in. We were break even. And then we sat in our short all day, waiting for the move down to the 70s. And what happened? Well, we got stopped out break even by a couple points. I think like 2 points, and then it went to the 70s. And once it got down there, now I'm pissed. I want to buy. So this demand forms on this up candle here. Right across. Retest the demand. We walk it up to the end of the day. Right after close was, I think that was Amazon earnings. but it got sucked back up pretty good. So good long. Called the top supply level of the day, but our trade was break even, so we missed out on that. Unfortunate. But we caught this move up yesterday. That was nice. Thoughts going into today is we're still in an uptrend. I think we want to come to the 130 supply. If we look at the hourly, we want to be careful when we get up here because we're painting this picture, right? We come down, we chop for several days into the supply. Boom, big move down, chop for several days into the supply. What I was expecting to happen was a gap up this morning into the supply, and then we would push off of it, but we just held the overnight range. So now I think we have potential to move up to there today. We got long last night off of this demand here. We got long down here. And then we got stopped out, so I wanted to re-enter at about the same price that I was after that news. So this is my second attempt. One was a break even here. Now we're break even at about the same spot, which is cool. That's fine. Talking to myself, I think that was just for a little bit. But, hello. I had a question about how you interpret break of structure. Do you consider it breaking if it just wicks, if just the wick breaks structure, or do you look for, yeah, just, I do just, the wick. If it goes one tick above, it broke structure. So I think that's what happened, yesterday, yeah. Like we had this small break of structure up here at the end of the day. Once that happened, I was looking for a long, and we longed off this demand overnight. And I got stopped out break even. Try to re-enter this kind of same position for a push up to the 130s. That's break even again. So yeah, really one tick is all it takes. And it doesn't matter to me how the candle closes. What am I thinking? I think there was a good example. I don't remember. Or even like this. A couple days ago, we had this supply form, and we just barely go over it, and we actually close underneath it, underneath this high. But as soon as we broke that high, this demand is a buy. Right here. Looks like we just tick it. But by a ticker, like Fast and the Furious. By an inch or by a mile. By a tick or by a point, you know? If it broke it, it broke it. Because it's supply and demand rules, it shouldn't, the level shouldn't break. If it breaks, the imbalance is no longer there. So that's the thought process behind it. If that supply level breaks by even a tick, it's no longer there. So how do you, perhaps, maybe that makes you think, well, how do you not get into like a trap, right? If we just make a high barely and then it collapses down, and that depends on the higher time frame levels that you're coming into. Making a higher high into a strong level, that could be where the sellers are. So you just have to be prepared for that. Gotcha. Curious. What would you interpret the 7:35-minute candle after the jobs report, where it broke both high and low? Okay, 7:30. Oh, are you literally? Oh wait, that was the candle after. Yeah. Okay, this one. Yeah. When that happened, so we look at where we went. So we went up, and this told us sellers are somewhere up here. And we went down, and buyers are somewhere down here, which we expected. We expected there to be buyers down here. I bought this demand earlier in the night, and that's the same demand that held. So as soon as it sucked up, as soon as it broke both sides and sucked back towards the middle and closed. So when it closed, I drew this range. Right? Now we're in this 5-minute range. Like, selling up here is fine. Might come back down to test the bottom. But I consider us in this candle range until we get out of it. Ideally, my thought is to the upside. You'll see this kind of picture. Let me see if I can find a day for you. Example. We really haven't had a range day. Yeah. Oh, here's a good example. So this is last week or something. So if we keep that picture in our head of the 5-minute wiki news candle, okay, so when that happened, it broke both sides. I'm like, shoot, we're in this range now. So you see that same thing play out on the daily, the 5-minute here, coming into this day, right? We break this structure here, and immediately after we break the structure low. So now, if you think about it, this just becomes that wiki candle. Boom, boom. And if something like this happens at the beginning of a day, a trading day, where we break both sides of structure, then I immediately think we're in a range for the day, which is like as soon as we broke above here, boom, back into the range at the bottom of the range. You know, that was a beautiful, just from this, we could almost get a beautiful range for the day, just from that single move. Now that takes until 10:30 to show itself, but that was a very good clue on that day. So anytime that's a really good question. Anytime we break both, both structures, range, boom, that's where my head's at. Of course, we'll have a bias, so we broke, that's so hard to say. We broke both structures on this news candle. So then we have this range. But if we look at our higher time frame, we made a new high. We're continuing our uptrend. We're at the bottom buy area of our range. So I'm going to place a buy bias on this range. $8.30, so we didn't open up above this high, which is what I wanted. So we could come back and fill the gap, which would knock us out of our position, which would be unfortunate. That's probably my big, if that happens, like on 5-minute structure in the first hour of a day, we break the high and low. Oh, it's such a good, I would say 70% of chance it's going to be a range day. Now, I'm not just talking a news candle like this. Like this candle broke, but I'm talking about when there's swings in the market. You know, instead of this being a news candle, if it was actually swings in the market, came down here, broke this, and then we broke the high, then I would be looking for this range. Hope that makes sense. That was such a good question. One thing I'm looking at also, why I'm buy biased, aside from higher trend, breaking supply, looking a little bit higher for the sellers. If we look at yesterday, we have our volume up as well. See, we got this huge move down. This was off, I think this was just a move. I don't think there was news here. I think we just fell. And we came down to where we thought buyers were. Boom, biggest volume of the day. Okay. Then we get our Amazon earnings. Boom, come down here. Oh my gosh, huge volume again. So, huge volume were filled in these areas. And what did the market do? The market went up after. Right, so tons of buy orders filled down here. Coming to this morning. Now we came down, just a lot of volume on that candle anyways, but thinking that we want to be held up by buyers that are down here. This is the thought process. Now we broke up out of this range. That's good. For long, yeah, obviously. Start a little uptrend arena. See what we can get. Once we start getting to 130, I'm going to trail to half my position. That's kind of our expectation now. What's interesting coming into these supply areas up here, if we're as bullish as we think, you know, if the market's as bullish as we think, once again, all this supply up here, all this supply has just been retested over and over and over. So if I do take shorts, I'll be very careful up there. I think ideally I would want to trade through those levels. We can still definitely find sellers up here. That's why I'm going to take some position off. But just things to be aware of. How long was I muted again? Darn it! If we get real grindy in the first hour, probably just going to grind up, I would assume, the rest of the day. What was I saying? Hopefully, let's just repeat. Looking for the 130s. I'll start taking off some of this position. I like that we broke the high. We started a 5-minute uptrend. This supply at the top of this top supply, all-time high supply, has been retested so many times. I want to be very careful up here. This is something that could be ignored. Like, if we got really bullish news, or we could just, if we got bullish volume, we could just go directly through all this. It's very messy up there. Not clean. I'm looking at the 130s because an imbalance showed itself in the area. We could go right above it at 148 before we find sellers. And we'll see what happens. We opened up within only not 20 points. So usually the gap fills if that happens. So that would be unfortunate. But we shall see. We shall see. We got the Super Bowl this weekend as well. It would make sense just to grind up today. We did try to get in this demand overnight, and we did. And then we got stopped out this morning on the news. And then we re-entered pretty much the same spot. Looking for that continuation. We broke on the hourly. Came into these sellers here. We were talking about 6,100. Definitely sellers at 6,100. See that? And then we went through them. So now we're looking for 6,130. John King, oh, you're saying good morning as well. Everybody says good morning, John. The doggies are excited to see you. We're looking up to 130 area. We'll see. We were in long this morning from this zone. Then we got stopped out on the news, so I re-entered at about the same position. Break even again. We'll see if we get something. Yesterday was a half decent day, and I was really busy in the morning, so I wasn't gonna stream. And then I literally stayed till the end of the day. I should have just thrown on the stream. Well, if I'm being honest, I napped, so that's why I didn't. My stop was right below. I re-entered actually using, let me show you, the 1 minute. When we broke up right here, created this demand right here. So then my stop was below. Wait, which demand did I buy? No, I bought this one. My stop was below here. So below the second 5 minute wick right here. That was an aggressive re-entry because I was already in a position and I was confident in my theory. So I got pissed off when I was like, oh no, gosh, let me look at the 1 minute. I gotta try to get some. That's an aggressive entry for me, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get in those trades. Yesterday, beautiful. So yesterday morning, if we're looking, a 5 minute, this position, I'm going to turn off this position real quick. Okay. On the 5, we have this structure low here. So we break the structure low here. Create supply. Boom, retest. So we got short up here. Held it, held it, held it. We were actually break even. Held it all day. Got stopped out. Went like 2 more points against us. And then we got our move to the 70s. So frustrating. I was sitting through it for hours. Hours. And then we came down here. And I bought this level. Which that made up for sitting in that break even all morning. Oh my gosh, I didn't see my position. I was like, I got stopped out. Morning, Allison. Morning to you. Don't forget to like. Only if you like it. You don't have to. Like double checking to make sure my mic's not muted every time. Right? Yeah, that looks good to me. So the idea today, trading up to 130s. I marked 143, potential high of day. Friday, Super Bowl weekend. I'm also looking at how the market held up yesterday when we came falling down aggressively. We aggressively got bought up at both these lows. So, come down aggressively into demand right here. I think we want to continue higher. That's what makes sense. Also in an hourly uptrend still. I'll gotta readjust it. Including that low. We'll do like that. Saying earlier, if we start just doing a grind up, we might do that for the rest of the day. So just if that starts happening, you know, either jump on the train or walk away. Any weekend plans? Any weekend plans for you guys? I think I was off the one day Derek was like on for 100% on. I apologize to him. I like that we're holding up. I thought we might come fill the gap. And if that would have happened, it would have stopped me out. Boom. John, why not take partial profit? Yeah, I will. It's about there. You know, I could start trailing. Let's see, what is this? 16, so that'd be 20 points. So after this bar close, I might trail 2. Or ideally, what I want to see is us do this. Get right to about the 130s, maybe 127. And then I'll start trailing prior bar lows at that point. I guess to answer your question, it's just trading through my idea, right? My idea is that we go to 130. If we don't, I don't lose anything. If we do, it'll be a great trade. But you know, I could have started taking partial profits, you know, at the top of this range here. But you know, that eats up a lot into it. But because this next supply was so far away, I felt like there was room to let it go to that area. And I don't want to cut it short if it has that type of room. And by room, all I mean is that there's, you know, the supply we broke yesterday was right here. Once we broke this supply on this at the end of the day, I'm looking for a move up to 130. So long as we keep our uptrend and everything. But yeah, I'll trail 2 now that we're at the 121s. I'll trail prior bar lows with 2, which will at least secure a couple $100. This prior bar low is 1675, so we'll bring it up to 1650. Hopefully we get another little up here, another little up push. I could trail, lock in another 5 to 7 points that way. If we happen to just do like a big up candle that got to like 120, right to the zone, 128, drag this over. We just had a big up candle that would hit that, then that would cause me to just close out of that half. There's like a fine line between letting the market work and then, you know, like you're pointing out, not letting too much slip away. Prior bar low or high is probably my favorite method. Once you get that, you know, if we were long over here and we wanted to take profit somewhere up here on this up move, we would just have our stop, prior bar low, and that would get us out right here. So we'd be able to capitalize on a decent amount of that move before it just reversed. Sometimes, if you're lucky, like yesterday, we got in long down here, and then I was expecting up here. So once we came into this area, what did I do? I trailed prior bar lows. And look what that prior bar low here, moved it up, moved it up, moved it up, and then got stopped out. So just that simple technique, we were able to capitalize on such a large amount of the move. You never know what kind of move you're getting stuck into. Like this could be one that doesn't look back for 10, 15 bars, you know? Or it could stop me out here, which is fine. I'm glad I re-entered. I was kind of peeved this morning when I got stopped out on the news. So we'll be able to lock in another 2 points after this candle closes. Like I said, if we get a push up to the 128s on a big bull candle, then I would take off the half that I got right now. Actually, I might take off 3. We'll take off half, see our reaction to the zone, because I don't know if, like I was saying, I don't know if we're going to react to this zone when the sellers are most likely above this zone. We'll see though. We'll watch price when we get there. 30 seconds. I'm going to move my stop up to 118.75. That's this candle's low. One tick below the low. Made it up to 123 and a quarter so far. My couple theories for today, on the hourly, if we look at, we had this down move, right? And then we chopped for several days. On this last day, on this day here, we gapped up overnight into supply, which was, that's what I was trading for last night. That's why I got long in the middle of the night. I was expecting, well, not expecting, but theorized we could gap up this morning into the supply and then find sellers. But instead we held, waited for news, and now we're moving. Well, that makes me think we want to go maybe above these guys. These sellers we're coming into are really these sellers here. At 148, right above this high, we might see sellers step in. Like I said, above that all-time highs, this is all retested. Eventually, it's not going to hold. Well, it looks like that knocked us out of that one. Perfectly fine. So, with these other contracts, I'm going to see what happens with our trend. If our trend starts to break, if we start doing this, and then we get a pullback, I'll exit one more on this pullback, and just hold one to hope. Otherwise, we'll hold them perhaps to the end of the day. We'll see. Couple hundred buckaroos on that trade, though. Not bad. Took a break even. This is the second attempt at the same trade from this demand. Got out the first one break even. Lots of break evens recently. Yesterday we got short off this supply. Broke even right here and got stopped out before it made the move we wanted to see. What you gonna do about it? Well, on the up move, we just trailed prior candle lows with part of our position. Got out some right here. Now we're going to hold, maybe take one more off when we get to the 6130s. Hold one to the end of the day if we get a grind day. Whoa! Not what you want to see. Aww. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, it was more news. Really? Oh, I missed consumer sentiment. Tell you what, if it did it to me again, I'm leaving for the day. Okay. And that would be the second time today I got news wicked out. Right about where I entered. Unfortunate, though. At least they made it painless. It just happened, right? Instead of like a slow trickle of pain, it just said, "No, get out of there." Derek saw it, he's like, "Oh shit." Yo, what's up, buddy? I'm streaming, don't say anything hideous.
Huh?
I said, I'm streaming, don't say anything hideous.
I'm not. What happened to you yesterday?
I had a bunch of things to do in the morning, and then I just kind
Oh,
of half
okay.
AFK'd
Okay.
at my computer.
Nice, dude. Well, I took a trade right now, just this dump, and then I think I'm done for today.
You
I
shorted
think
a news dump?
I shorted I don't think it was a news dump. I
Consider
think I
yourself
might have
lucky, my friend.
yeah, I might have shorted before that. I don't know. I woke up and just jumped on it, did it. But Monday I'm gonna be on. You gonna be on?
Yeah. Wait,
All
let me
right.
double check. Let me check the calendar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monday it is.
Awesome. I'll be on, dude.
All right, man.
For sure. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. You too.
All
Have a good
right,
one.
brother. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you on Monday.
All right, peace.
All right, bye.
This guy says, I woke up and then went short. That would be considered lucky, my friend. Sentiment released, and they're just saying inflation's expected to go up. I mean, that's not like, not necessarily like new news. That's not new news. The new news. 104. And we'll see what we get down here. Coming into this bottom area down here. Now, I don't know if you're still there, Yuki, but this picture, depending on how this reacts, I don't know if this is just going to fall or not, but let's say we turn up down here, start turning up. We broke the high and low. Boom. Range day. thinking come a little lower. I'd attempt to buy. I think this is, I don't know where the demand is in this candle, but let me check. This demand, I would draw it to 84. Where do we come? Oh, 84.50. Yep, that could be the demand right there. See if we get some kind of demand formation down here, and I'll throw on another trade arena. Ideally a little lower. I want to see it happen. But we'll see how it plays out. That was a crazy move. Yeah. Surprised. So now, looking more like a range day to me. It could just be a buy the dip thing. The thing about that's hard about today is it's a Super Bowl weekend. I know there's some firms that don't like just give off Monday. Still bullish, I think. I don't want. I'm not going to let that scare me yet. But instead of an up day, I could definitely see a range day happening. We don't want this 70s area to break. Ideally, that'll be the area we hold. If that starts breaking, then we could go down to the 50s. But I still think I'll look for some demand to form. Good kissies. One of my dogs, the German Shepherd, will aggressively put her face in the other dog's face just to get her eyeballs licked. Weird. Filled the gap. We did fill the gap. Would you look at that? The one thing I didn't want to happen. Hey. Hey, crazies. It's a frisky morning. That's what it is. I gotta pee. Give me 1 sec. Big move Reno downwards. See how we react down here. I wouldn't imagine. Let me see. Trader is now betting on just one Fed rate cut this year. Okay. Boom. See how she does down here. Way more bearishness than I was expecting. Do you have a potty? Alright, let the dogs out. Didn't let them inside yet, but they're having fun. Fear greed index at neutral. I think it was fearful yesterday. I don't know where my water's at. Toesies are cold. So what we're looking for now is we want to see what kind of reaction we get for price in this area. Or where we're at now, if we start forming demand. Could be a rangy day because of how this broke the high and the lows. Kind of ruined everything by going down. You ruined my update by going down, market. Excuse me. Excuse me. Here's getting too long. I gotta start taking care of it. Market taking a dump on Michigan inflation expectations, coming way ahead of consensus at 4.3%. The markets worry that inflation expectations typically lead real inflation, but this dump likely won't last long, have any meaningful bearing. It's just one state's data and came from a survey, aka meaningless. My shoulders are really been bothering me. My sockets. My sockets need to be lubed up. I don't know. Broke candles highs, so we're starting to form demand. Ideally, I'd like to see us take out 99. That high. Take out that high. And pull back to demand to get long. Still early in the day. I feel like it's so late already. Nothing really, actually. Trump is signing executive orders and speaking after lunch. So, probably want to get your trading done in the morning. Or at least already be positioned in the market for later. I don't know what, do they tell us what he wants to sign? I'm just curious if we can know. We want, do we not know until, he signs them? You know, nothing cracks me up more than like on like day trading Reddit it says first time ever trying this. Beginner's luck? Question mark. Like made $500. I had a feeling Tesla would tank, and I was right. I feel like that's a. Is that a real person or is that a troll? Oh, he's got to be trolling. He says, "I love gambling." Smiley face. See if we can break these highs here. Right around yesterday's close. Holding up around here. We want to see it break like 60.99. Then we have room back up to the top of the range. Coming down into this buyer area here. Still hovering around this bottom. If the bulls will give it to us. Man, I can't believe I got stopped out twice. Break even from news events. Well, we took some profits on that one trade. I want to see what kind of reaction we get from down here, and then I'll leave with an idea for the day. As far as the rest of the day goes, Trump signs executive orders and talks after lunch. Couple Fed speakers. The Feds usually just say things we already knew. How much is Netflix nowadays? I saw this Reddit post. It's like, oh, they're raising prices again. And this person's paying $34 a month for Netflix? What the? $34? Wasn't Netflix like $5 at one point? Subscription price, not the stock. I want to see it take out 60.99. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Is that more news? Am I crazy? Or just a breakdown? Guess we're really searching lower, huh? Ah, Jesus. Wait, my news feed is frozen. Ah! Trump told Republican lawmakers he plans to issue reciprocal tariffs as early as Friday. Play more tariff games. Now 60/50s down here. But, let's see. Yeah. We want that to hold. If that doesn't start holding, we're a step away. Every time we've come up here, we've had this big down move there. Big down move here. Came back up. I don't know what we're going to do. Potentially. Ton of volume on that down bar. Well, if he's talking already. Like when things say like, oh, so-and-so said this. Sources. Yeah, but what are the sources? You can't just say sources. Sources say. Do they now? Probably just leave with the Planarino. Down here, 60/50s. we need this area to hold, otherwise I think we can collapse down to the bottom. So looking at this area 60/50s, we start forming demand, breaking out of this downtrend, maybe one more low, a lower low into here, maybe take another stab long. Otherwise, news later and stuff, so don't play around too late today, I would say. And good luck. We'll be back next week.